चलिए हम लोग शुरू करते हैं. Good evening, friends, and welcome to the first session of Becoming a Trailblazing Leader program. This is a very powerful program because it works at the root of leadership, at the self mastery, and this is a very powerful, intensive 8-week program. Most of the time we get distracted by the fruits that we want, and we don't realize that to get the fruits that we desire in our life, we actually need to work on the roots. And the Becoming a Trailblazing Leader program works on the roots. That is why it is so powerful. This is our sixth batch of the Becoming a Trailblazing Leader program. And every year, as we do this program, there are great insights that we receive through the discussions from the participants, and we keep upgrading the content of the session. Uh, we have Rishi who has joined us today. Rishi, could you briefly introduce yourself?
Thank you. Good evening, sir, and good evening, everyone. It's been a pleasure, joining this session. And very importantly, I had the privilege of, being mentored, as always, by Ashish sir in one of the organizations that we work together. A very brief. I come from an insurance broking setup where we do employee benefits. And it's been a journey of 18 years, and and the journey is still on. That's about me. As said, Ashish sir really played a very important role um, in guiding me to the journey that I am traveling today, and he's been there for every moment that I live on, and I continue being mentored by him for all the life ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rishi. Thank you for those kind words. And we are happy to have you as a part of this program. Uh, as some of you are aware, we follow the 70-20-10 rule in the sessions. So 10% of the learning will happen from the content that I share. 20% happens from the class participation and sharing. So please share, participate actively, share freely. These recordings are not shared outside with anyone, so it's a very safe place for you to share. And 70% learning happens when you apply what you have learned in the sessions today. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a 8-week program. We start today with developing a champion's mindset, very powerful session, and then we will follow it up with blueprint for success, which is about using our imagination quotient. Most of the times we focus on our intelligence quotient, but in this session we will learn to leverage our imagination quotient, which will be followed by time management on 30th April, which is one of the most valuable resources that we have got, followed by compassionate leadership, which is the best form of leadership that I know. And that is followed by emotional drivers, understanding the power of emotions in ourselves and what triggers the emotions in other people, and how we can use that to drive peak performance, understanding ego and peak performance, followed by sharpen the axe, and finally the capstone session, which is on 4th of June. Each of these sessions will be 8 to 9:30 p.m. But I will request you to block time till 10 p.m. So that in case we exceed, you don't have anything planned otherwise. And though this is not likely to change, in case I am traveling, we might have disruption in one of the sessions. That's about that. So now, friends, starting with the session, who comes to your mind when we talk of champion? Share some names, unmute and share, or type in the chat who comes to your mind when you think of a champion. Hi, Somesh. Who do you think, who you consider as a champion? Who comes to your mind when you think of a champion? Yes, Rishi.
Team India.
Team India, Tendulkar, Dhoni. Yes. Okay. Anybody else? Yes, Monica.
Olympic gold medalist,
Olympic gold medalist,
world leaders,
world leaders. Okay. Anybody
spiritual
else?
gurus, spiritual
S-
gurus,
Which guru?
spiritual gurus, different part of the
Gurus.
world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else? Who else is a champion?
A mother.
A mother. Okay. Very nice. A mother is a champion. Sports people are champion. Who else is a champion? Gurus are champions. Who, according to you, is a champion? Do you know any real life champions? Team India. Hello Shubham. Hello Vasudev. Hello Gaurav. Who is a champion as per you? Mother. Who comes to your mind when you think? Who accomplishes things, meetings, or beyond expectation? Who goes beyond expectation? Very beautiful. And what are the some of the attributes that come to your mind when you think of a champion? So somebody who goes leaders, somebody who goes beyond the what others think is possible, who takes initiative. Very nice. Who else? What are the other attributes? क्यों किसी को हम चैंपियन कहते हैं? कौन?
Someone who has a vision.
Someone who is a
Who has a vision.
who has a vision, who doesn't give up. Okay. So you all are right. We have sportsmen, we have politicians, we have people who don't give up. Different. It could be our mother, it could be Mother Teresa. These are our champions. And a champion is someone who stays the course and complete what they start. Okay. Uh, they don't give up. They win consistently, not just once. It's not a fluke, right? कोई एक पिक्चर हिट हो गई तो वो नहीं बन गया स्टार. जो कंसिस्टेंटली डिलीवर कर रहा है हिट अपॉन हिट, ही इज द पर्सन हु इज अ स्टार. People who adapt and evolve over time, people who take responsibility. Okay. And each of these we will in the session today explore many stories, all real life stories, and mostly of people you would know of, and we will see how leaders step up and take responsibility, demonstrate resilience and perseverance, have broken barriers like Vasudev was mentioning, and have supreme belief in themselves. Is there anything else that comes to your mind which we may not have covered? All right. So let me share with you this story of MS Dhoni. Anybody remembers World Cup 2011?
Everybody.
Everybody. What happened? Anybody remembers what happened initially?
So the two world champions, Sehwag and Tendulkar, got early outs, uh, and hence he took a step up. I mean, he was a second down, third down, player, but he took up the stance early by talking to the management and the team, and started batting early. I mean, which
Right.
is unlike his order. I mean,
Yeah.
going beyond what he had done all throughout, and since he was the captain, uh, the responsibility lied on his shoulders.
Mm,
If he had not performed, I think every blame would have been onto his shoulders.
Beautiful, beautiful. Very well said, Rishi. MS Dhoni is not a batsman, he's a wicket keeper, right? And batsmen like Tendulkar and Sehwag got out. India was like 112 for 3. And any idea of who would have been the next player in whose place Dhoni went? So Yuvraj was the player, okay?
Yuvraj Singh was the best performer of that World Cup.
Correct, correct. So Yuvraj Singh was in form, okay? And MS Dhoni had not even scored half a century in that match, okay? But when a team is in crisis and you are the captain, what do? You step up yourself and you take responsibility with a great risk. It was, the whole country, the whole world was watching you, and if you fail miserably. All the blame, like Rishi said, would come on you. And in that match, in the finals, Dhoni scored 92 runs. All right. Now that is the stuff leaders are made of. And I will pause here for you to reflect on what have you picked up from Dhoni's leadership style. What did he do?
Box.
So, a couple of things, and that too from a cricketing standpoint, since he was the strategic master of the game that he was playing, he first of all maintained the left and the right hand combination. Uh, when I say this, the other batsman who is the silent champion and who was also the real champion was Gautam Gambhir. He was himself at 90s, but the world remembers the last ball six and nobody remembers the Gautam Gambhir's innings. So that is one. But the second point is he wanted that the left and the right hand combination should prevail because if Yuvraj would have come in, the two left handers, they were to play Mr. Muralidharan, who was against the off spinner. So practically he took himself to the stride, not for fame but for the game. Since he knew how to class that game, he took some risky shots that were again those calculated risk. So that's my take of remembering what I remember as of now.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Rishi. Very well said. The leaders, whether they are in sports world or corporate world or in real life, think of how our parents would have stepped up in times of responsibility. Nobody teaches you parenting, but when the child falls sick, we all take care of our children. So Dhoni promoted himself up in the batting order against all the risk that was there. He took responsibility in a high pressure situation. This is not any ordinary match. This was the finals in a World Cup. And led from the front instead of blaming circumstances or people. He didn't cry, अरे वो तो वीरेंद्र सहवाग का काम था, वो तो तेंदुलकर का काम था, उनको स्कोर करना चाहिए था, मैं तो विकेट कीपर हूँ, मेरा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी थोड़ा है ये करना, मैं तो कैप्टन हूँ. So he took the responsibility. Would you like to hear my story also, where what happened to me and what became a turning point in my life? Please type Y in the chat box if you would like to hear my story. Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Shubham. Hello, Dev Pranam. Please type Y if you would like to hear my story. All right. So those of you who don't want to hear my story can keep them keep their ears, plug their ears, and I'll anyway share my story. So what had happened? I think this was 2013, and I was having my annual review with my boss, who is also who was also my mentor. So he was somebody I really looked up to, and he was my well wisher. And my targets had been met, so I'd achieved whatever I had to achieve. But because we were friendly, and he was known very well to me, the conversation steered into my blaming सब colleagues कि उसने ऐसा नहीं किया, उसने वैसा नहीं किया. एंड ये थोड़ी देर चलता रहा क्योंकि थोड़े चैलेंजिंग सिचुएशन थी मेरी. आई हैड जस्ट टेकन ओवर ए न्यू असाइनमेंट इन ए न्यू सिटी, and I kept complaining about this person didn't do that, that person didn't do that. And after a while, he listened to me for some time, and then he stopped me and asked me a question which has stayed with me even after 13 years or so, and which impacted me a lot. He asked me a very simple question: Ashish, when will you grow up and take responsibility for your life? You know, and that came as a slap on my face. I didn't realizing that when I was blaming other people, I was not owning up. I was not taking responsibility for my life. And since then, it's been a journey because there are different areas of your life in which we can take responsibility, and it's a progressive realization in different situations whether I am taking responsibility or not. So, and what I would like to ask is, what was my belief before the performance review, and what changed after the performance review? Did you understand my story? What happened? Okay. So, what changed?
I think accountability came in place for you.
I can't. I can't. What was my belief before the performance review, Depana?
That you deserve certain things
Okay.
because you have this job
Entitlement, a
and
sense of entitlement.
sense of entitlement.
Hmm.
Yes, sense
Okay.
of entitlement, and also I would say lack of responsibility in the sense of what you think you're supposed to get in a job as opposed to the realities of the job world.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody else has got a view?
जब हमें कुछ एक्सपेक्टेशंस के हिसाब से नहीं मिल रहा होता तो देन वी कीप ऑन ब्लेमिंग अदर्स फॉर द
We
क्वेश्चन
keep
ऑफ
on blaming others. We
या
keep on blaming others.
सर्कमस्टांसेस
जो हमको हमारे हिसाब
सर्कमस्टांसेस
से नहीं मिलता तो हम दूसरों को ब्लेम करते हैं.
खुद का रिस्पॉन्स लैक ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होता है
Okay.
तो उसमें
Lack
you
of
were not
responsibility,
yeah
and
you
we
were not
blame.
taking the responsibility and you are blaming the circumstances when
Okay.
your senior asks you to you have to grow up कब तक आप बच्चों की तरह कंप्लेन करते रहेंगे पेरेंट्स को कि स्कूल में ही हुआ कॉलेज में ही हुआ now good enough you are a mature person you have to be take the responsibility that is I think first step in the leadership quality.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Monica. Somesh, you want to share something?
Yeah, I think you were lacking ownership
You
before the
lack
review.
ownership. Yeah.
You
So
were
what
thinking
was my
lack
belief?
of ownership, yes.
What was my belief? I lacked
Your
ownership.
belief is that, yes, if something was not happening, if the work was not getting done, you didn't did some kind of introspection why it is not happening, and we're simply blaming others. Okay, this was the reason. This person is not doing. That person is not doing.
Okay.
I think that is the reason you were little depressed also, and you were not
Okay.
happy
So
also with the
when
situation.
when I am blaming other people and I am not taking responsibility, what could I be feeling like? What would be the underlying feeling? Can anybody describe how would have been my feelings when I am
Victim.
not taking responsibility, blaming other people?
Victim energy.
Victim energy, right? So I was feeling like a victim. And that is where the major paradigm shift took place for me. That I started moving from a victim mindset to a victor mindset. All right? That's a choice that we make, whether we think like a victim or a victor in any situation. And how do we identify ourselves or anybody else who is thinking or talking like a victim or a victor? A victim will typically say there is nothing I can do, whereas a victor will say let's look at alternatives. That's just the way I am, or that's just the way people are. यहाँ तो ऐसा ही होता है, मैं तो ऐसा ही हूँ, मैं तो वैसा ही हूँ, वो गाना भी है ना. Or, Victor would say, I can choose a different approach. He or she makes me so mad. It could be your boss, it could be your spouse, it could be your parents, versus a Victor saying, I can control myself and I can control my own feelings. They won't allow. पापा ऐसा करने नहीं देंगे, या बॉस ऐसे करने नहीं देगा, या कंपनी अलाउ नहीं करेगी. और लेट मी मेक एन इफेक्टिव प्रेजेंटेशन. आई हैव टू डू दैट. कोई चॉइस नहीं है. आई चूज टू डू दैट. आई कांट सिंग. I can't do digital marketing. It's not that I can't sing. It's just that I am choosing not to learn singing, okay, or not learning digital marketing. I must. I prefer. तो ये जो बेचारे लोग होते हैं, इनकी थिंकिंग में अगर ये वर्ड्स आप सुन रहे हो अपने आप को बोलते हुए या किसी और को बोलते हुए, तो आप समझ जाइए ये विक्टिम माइंडसेट से काम कर रहा है. एंड this victim or victor mindset is not a permanent position or permanent mindset. Even during the day, sometime you can find yourself or somebody else operating from victim. Sometime else they could be operating from victor stage. But we need to be aware. Now suppose we miss a deadline. हम क्या बोलते हैं, यार ये काम क्यों नहीं हुआ, मेरी गलती थोड़ी ना थी. ये नॉर्मली लोग बोलते हैं. बट ए चैंपियन थिंक्स व्हाट कुड आई हैव डन डिफरेंटली. या किसी कलीग के साथ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो गया, या क्लाइंट के साथ हो गया, यार दे रियली गेट अंडर माई स्किन. ए चैंपियन वुड थिंक हाउ कैन आई रिस्पॉन्ड बेटर. या आप बिजनेस में या करियर में स्टक हैं, यार देयर आर नो अपॉर्चुनिटीज इन दिस डेज. AI की वजह से नौकरियां जा रही हैं, मेरी नौकरी भी खतरे में है. A champion would think, what can I learn? Right? So this is how differently a victim or victor thinks. And when you change this mode of thinking from victim to victor, the growth is exponential. It is not 10, 20, 50% growth. It is like 1,000, 5,000% growth. Do you believe me? What I am saying? Do you believe what I am saying? Or would you like to hear a story which will prove this for you?
Story.
Story? If you
Yeah.
would like to hear a story, please type S in the chat. Thank you, Shubham. Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Dev. So let me share this wonderful story with you. Let me share a scene. Can anybody recognize which movie is this from?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness. Other than Dev Pana, who said Pursuit of Happiness? Gaurav. Okay.
Yeah.
Somesh. Okay. So this is the scene from Pursuit of Happiness, very rightly identified. And this movie is based on the true life of Chris Gardner. For those of you who are not familiar with the movie, I would strongly encourage you to watch this movie. And to cut the long story short, Will Smith, who is playing Chris Gardner in this movie, is a single father, and he is homeless. Okay, होमलेस का मतलब उसका वो जो मैं पिक्चर दिखाता हूँ आपको, ये पिक्चर में जो सामान दिख रहा है ना, यही उसका पूरा सामान है. बिकॉज ही डजेंट हैव एनी होम, he has got this briefcase and this bag in which, or and this son's school bag is there. This is their entire possession that they have, and every day he has to go and look for a shelter where he can spend the night with his son. But like him, there are many homeless people, and there is always a challenge in getting a shelter for the night. So he has to go from one shelter to another and find a place. One night it so happens that he could not find a shelter home. And then he had to spend the night in a toilet in a metro station. And this is not there in the movie. This, what happened there, is not there in the movie. But if you listen to the Chris Gardner interview, he says that, when I was there in the toilet that day, आपको ये बेसन दिख रहा होगा, वो बेसन के ऊपर एक शीशा था. So I looked at myself in the mirror and I said to myself that if I can get myself into this situation, I can get myself out of this situation. Okay. I'll pause here to hear from you. What is your takeaway from this story? And I'll tell you what happens after that. I was talking about exponential growth. So then after this, when he decides that I'm going to take myself out of this situation, he gets a job, which is an unpaid job. Okay. And then one thing leads to the other. He becomes a stockbroker, certified stockbroker. And then eventually he lands up forming his own company. And then he sold that company, his own stockbroking firm which he formed. He sold it. Can you guess how much he would have got for that company, his stockbroking company? How much did he sell it for? What was the valuation he got for it? Any guess? I don't expect you to know the figures, but any guess for how much he would have sold that his stockbroking company for? No clue, Devana. Okay, I understand. Somesh?
100 million.
100 million. Okay, good. Good try. Anybody else? Shubham, Monica. 200 million, Monica. Okay. Vasudev, Ashish, Gaurav. Okay. So Monica gets the prize for the right answer. It is $200 million. Okay. Now $200 million in today's prices is about 1800 crore rupees. Can you imagine a person who is homeless, a single father, who doesn't have a place to sleep at night, forms a company and then sells it for 1800 crore rupees? How does that sound to you? Friends, yes, Gaurav.
Unbelievable.
It's
I
unbelievable.
knew he had sold a company, but or probably I might have. I'm very bad at remembering numbers.
हाँ no no so this is not there in the movie गौरव ये तो
हम्म।
अलग से आप उसका देखेंगे
नहीं,
तो पता
बाद में भी
लगेगा
मैंने कहीं तो सुना रहेगा, नहीं तो
हाँ
पढ़ा रहेगा, बट आई एम नॉट गुड एट रिमेम्बरिंग
हाँ
नंबर्स.
हाँ no no worries no worries
But that's huge.
yeah okay so that is the so what caused that change अब आप ये स्टोरी के ऊपर आप सोचिए एक मिनट और बताइए कि व्हाट इज़ योर टेक अवे यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है अभी तक हमने तीन स्टोरी डिस्कस कर ली हैं and we are talking about leadership, we are talking about a developing a champion's mindset. We have discussed MS Dhoni story, we have discussed my story, and we have discussed Chris Gardner's story, Will Smith. What is happening here? What are what are your takeaways from on leadership that you are coming up with? What do you think is happening? What are the attributes of a champion mindset?
First thing is never give up. That
Never
is the
give
first
up.
thing
Okay,
which comes to my mind. And
very nice.
secondly, I think that if somebody thinks that I have gone so low in my life that there is only way which is going up.
Very
So
good.
that is the worst point of my life, and the only way there from there is to go up. So I think that was second thing. And third, he had a very strong willpower.
Okay. So what I would
And
like you
fourth,
to do
I
is, yeah,
yeah
thank you so much. I would,
yeah
for each one of you, please write one takeaway from these three stories, from MS Dhoni, from my story, and from the Chris Gardner story. What is your one takeaway? What is happening here? What is leadership? What is champions mindset? What is one attribute of champion's mindset that you are picking up? We'll pause here for 3 minutes for you to reflect on these three stories, write them down, and then we will have some sharing on this. Becoming accountable, taking responsibility. This is MS Dhoni. Can you tag that story wise so that we know which
All
story?
all three overall, Ashish, I
Over.
think all three have
Okay.
multiple lessons in them, right?
Very nice.
And there are overlapping lessons.
Okay. Okay.
So I would not tag one for one. I think all three have a lot of lessons, but
Okay.
overall, these three for me.
Empathy. How does the empathy is from which story?
Empathy again from everybody, but mostly from Pursuit of Happiness a lot. That guy has gone through so much trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
he has gone through so much shit. He's still not blaming people. He understands that everything has a reason behind it, and his misfortune is not someone to blame. It's just something that happens, and you'll always come.
Beautiful. Gaurav, Monica, Somesh, anything new you want to share? Yes, Monica.
Never give up attitude, high EQ, tough mindset.
Okay. And can you attribute this to stories, Monica? Which story, which takeaway?
I think never give up attitude from the three of the stories. And high EQ is, yeah, that is also, I think I can resonate with the three.
Okay.
Can tough mindset also. Everybody is showing the tough mindset.
Okay. Okay, Monica. Thank you. Gaurav?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, in case of MS Dhoni, I would say uh, taking responsibility as well as taking risk, changing the
Beautiful.
order, batting order.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Um, I mean, it was both the things.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Then, in case of your this thing, it was owning up to the situation. Uh, and in case of pursuit of happiness, I would say he realizing it that shit happens in life,
Yeah.
and we just need to buckle it up.
Yeah.
So
See,
that's
uh, yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Gaurav. And it's very easy for us to think about it in terms of other people. आप इमेजिन करो, आज तो वो मूवी है, किसी और के साथ हुआ तो हम ये सब बातें कर रहे हैं. हमारे साथ होता है, कितना दर्द होता है हमको, है ना? तो आप को अपनी किसी सिचुएशन, मतलब आप गौरव को नहीं बोल रहा, मैं सबको बोल रहा हूँ, ऐसी कोई सिचुएशन थी जब हम कुड वी हैव डन समथिंग डिफरेंटली लिसनिंग टू दीज थ्री स्टोरीज, या फिर अभी कोई ऐसी सिचुएशन है जहाँ पे हम ट्रैप्ड फील कर रहे हैं और कुछ हम अलग कर सकते हैं. दैट इज दोज आर द थिंग्स दैट वी नीड टू ponder on. And Shubham, I really like this point about self belief, and I would just like to share another personal story from my life. This is about my boss, one of my bosses. He used to live in Oberoi hotels in Bombay, having converted three rooms into one flat. He got the hotel to combine three rooms into a flat for him. आप सोचो, ओबराय का एक कमरे का एक दिन का ही किराया कितना होता है. उन्होंने तीन कमरे को जोड़ के घर बनाया और वहीं पे रहते थे वो. दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ मनी ही हैड. एंड यू नो ऐसा पैसा तो बहुत लोगों के साथ पास हो सकता है, या कुछ लोगों के पास, बट व्हाट वाज मोस्ट इंस्पायरिंग वाज he started his career as a tailor. So he started his career as a tailor, and from tailor he became an insurance agent. Then he became the managing director of an insurance company. And when I met him, he was working with the company I was working for in a very senior position. And he had invited me to his house for a dinner one night. And I asked him कि बॉस इतना सब सक्सेस कैसे अचीव किया आपने, from a tailor to insurance agent to a managing director to now living in Oberoi, in a flat made specially by Oberoi for him. And can you guess what was his answer for me? What did he say to me? Supreme self-belief, supreme, this was the word he used, supreme self-belief. मतलब my belief in my ability to create the results I want is so powerful. हम अपने ऊपर ही डाउट करते हैं, यार ये होगा कि नहीं मेरे से. ओके, होगा कि नहीं होगा नहीं पता, बट अगर आप अपने ऊपर फेथ रखो कि इस दुनिया में कुछ और है नहीं, हम ही हैं. एंड इफ वी हैव दिस सुप्रीम सेल्फ बिलीफ on ourselves, then we can create miracles. Okay, this is what we are seeing in these stories. Supreme self-belief in Dhoni, a wicket keeper who puts him ahead of a batsman like Yuvraj Singh to lead the country to a victory. आप इमेजिन करो, उसने 50 रन भी नहीं बनाए उस मैच में, और क्या हिम्मत, क्या बिलीफ है उसका कि बस मैं जिताऊंगा, और जाके फाइनल में 90. जिस आदमी ने, और अभिषेक शर्मा, ओके, खैर उसका तो थोड़ा बिलीफ हिला हुआ था, बट somebody was scored 0-0 और 10 रन whatever, वो फाइनल में जाके 50 मार रहा है. ओके, सुप्रीम सेल्फ बिलीफ. ये जब सुप्रीम सेल्फ बिलीफ होता है ना, ये चैंपियंस का माइंडसेट है. ओके, आर यू गाइस विद मी? प्लीज टाइप WM if you are with me. Thank you Dev Pranam. Thank you Shubham. Thank you, Monica. Vasudev, Ashish, anything you would like to add? Somesh, anything you would like to add? Okay, good.
Not at this point of time,
All
Ashish.
right, good. Thank you. So this is the champion's mindset that we're talking about. These are the attributes. There's one more thing, and again I'll illustrate this by way of a real life incident. Victors are always focused on what is it that they can control, whereas victim can't is always crying about what they can't control. जैसे मैं रो रहा था अपने बॉस के सामने बैठ के कि बॉस ये मेरी नहीं सुन रहा, वो मेरी नहीं सुन रहा, ये मेरे लिए ये नहीं कर रहा, ये रोते हैं विक्टिम. ओके, विक्टिम जो उसके कंट्रोल में नहीं है. डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने वार कर दिया, इसने वो कर दिया, इसने वो कर दिया. विक्टर जो है वो हमेशा उस पर फोकस रहता है, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ. अगर वार हो गया तो क्या हम जाके ईरान से डील कर सकते हैं कि बॉस हमारे शिप तो निकाल दो. हम इस सिचुएशन में क्या कर सकते हैं. ओके, हमेशा विक्टिम और विक्टर, एंड चाहे वो छोटी सुई की नोक के बराबर ही चीज़ हो, बट छोटी सी छोटी चीज़ पे अगर आप फोकस कर सकते हो, व्हाट इज इट दैट आई कैन डू इन दिस सिचुएशन, as long as you are focused on that, you are a victor. And if you are blaming कि ये नहीं हुआ, उसने ये नहीं किया, उसने मेरे पेरेंट्स ने, काश मेरे को कई सालों तक ऐसा लगता था कि अगर मेरे पेरेंट्स रिच होते तो मेरी लाइफ कितनी अच्छी होती. सो आई वाज ब्लेमिंग माय पेरेंट्स की बॉस ये तो साधारण सी नौकरी में थे, अगर बिजनेस में होते तो अपना लाइफस्टाइल अलग होता. इस तरह से कई बार लोगों का रहता है कि सरकार को या पेरेंट्स को या कलीग्स को हम ब्लेम करते हैं. बट व्हाट इज इट इफ आई वांट टू बी रिच, व्हाट इज इट आई कैन डू, एंड दैट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ए विक्टिम एंड विक्टर. वुड यू लाइक टू हियर ए चैंपियन स्टोरी विच डिमॉन्स्ट्रेट्स दिस टेकिंग टाइप? वाई इफ यू वुड लाइक टू हियर ए चैंपियन स्टोरी which demonstrates this point. Thank you, Devparna. So, this is Beijing Finals 2008. Okay. And do you know this person? Do you know this person?
Phelps.
Huh?
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps, right. Anybody else?
Yes,
Okay.
world champion in
वर्ल्ड
swimming.
चैंपियन, ये वर्ल्ड चैंपियन माइकल फेल्प्स हैं. ही होल्ड्स द रिकॉर्ड फॉर द हाईएस्ट नंबर ऑफ ओलंपिक गोल्ड मेडल्स. इन्होंने टोटल 28 मेडल्स जीते हैं, जिसमें से 23 गोल्ड मेडल हैं. ओके, यस वासुदेव फेल्प्स. नाउ दिस इज 2008 बीजिंग ओलंपिक्स फाइनल्स, एंड यू कैन गूगल दिस. When he was in the final round, his goggles malfunctioned. Okay, अब आप फाइनल रेस में हो और आपके गॉगल्स खराब हो गए, उसके अंदर पानी घुस गया. ओके, तो अब आप क्या कर सकते हो मुझे बताओ. अगर आप माइकल फेल्प्स की जगह होते, आप स्विम कर रहे हो और आपके गॉगल्स खराब हो गए, उसके अंदर पानी घुस गया, एंड बिकॉज वाटर हैज एंटर्ड यू कांट सी, कीप स्विमिंग. ओके, और क्या कर सकते हो आप? यू आर ब्लाइंडेड. या पॉज. ओके, आप फाइनल में हो, पॉज कैसे कर लोगे देपर्णा?
लेकिन अंधे चलाओगे भी तो कैसे आगे? वो तो फाइनल हार जाएगा अगर पॉज नहीं किया तो.
हाँ, पॉज तो ऑप्शन नहीं
मैडम
है ना
सीधा
पॉज.
ही जाना है,
हाँ,
सीधा ही
सॉरी.
जाना है, सालों की प्रैक्टिस है.
हाँ,
You have to go in a straight line. It's a straight
you have to
line,
go,
and
you
there
have
are
to go in the
markers.
straight line. Yeah, this is chapter
I would have
always.
removed the glasses and continued.
You would have removed the glasses and continued. Okay, very nice. Yes, yes, Vasudev. So, in a situation like this, again reflect on in your own life. when you are in a presentation, you're making a presentation and the PPT doesn't run, or the projector doesn't run, or you're depending on somebody to support you or assist you, and the person doesn't give you the data or whatever else that you're wanting, we tend to blame. But can we focus on what is it that I can do in this situation and continue doing that, right? So as Vasudev mentioned that he continues, there is only one thing that he can do in this situation, which is to continue swimming. And that is exactly what he did. He continued swimming because that's the only thing that he can do. That's the only thing that he can control. He can't stop the race. He can't blame, there is no point blaming his, coach or anybody else. And then he won that race. And not only did he won, and he got the gold medal. So now take 5 minutes, or rather 4 minutes. Reflect on any challenge that you may be facing in your life. You may share with us or not share with us, that is not important. But take 4 minutes and reflect on what is it that you can control in this situation. Now, circle of control is, let me share with you. Now, these are the three things. If we look at any situation, there is something that I can do in that situation, which is circle of control. There is something I can influence, कि किसी को बोला कि आपको कर दो, किसी के थ्रू करवाया मैंने. और सर्कल ऑफ कंट्रोल जो कंसर्न जो मेरे कंट्रोल में ही नहीं है, बिल्कुल आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल है. सो इन एनी सिचुएशन वी कैन लुक एट दीज थ्री सर्कल्स: सर्कल ऑफ कंट्रोल, सर्कल ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस एंड सर्कल ऑफ कंसर्न. एंड इन योर लाइफ, any challenge that you are facing right now, think what is it that you can do and what is it that you can influence and what could be out of your control. Okay, like suppose if you're not happy with the government or the corporator, you can vote differently. So what is in my control is I can vote. I can go and vote, cast my vote. Yeah, use experience. So please take 4 minutes and reflect on a challenge. If you have any questions about this exercise, feel free to unmute and ask. Anyone would like to share? Have you done the exercise? Whether you want to share or not is a different thing, but have you done the exercise? Okay, Monica, thank you. Gaurav, Somesh, Shubham, Vasudev, Ashish.
ये 4 मिनट वाला एक्सरसाइज नहीं है सर.
Hmm? You
This
want
is
more
not
time?
a 4 minute exercise.
Okay. Even if you're not able to do it completely, Gaurav, is there one thing that came up for you? Like in your current challenge, is circle of control clear for you, or influence, or what is out of your control? Any clarity that came up?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What became clear to you? Which one of these three circles?
Um, So basically, with regards to weight, my weight, uh,
Okay.
so understanding that my own cravings and control of my mind over things. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
uh, that is this thing. Circle of influence is not getting tempted
Hmm.
uh, by I easily get tempted when it comes to food.
Okay. Okay.
I give in easily.
Uh,
Uh, circle of concern would be might be again. I don't want to blame it on it, put it that way, or blame put it as a blame. But yeah, family history and whatever I have been through in the past.
yeah.
So
Okay.
those have been the factors.
All right. So, yeah. So, thanks for sharing that, Gaurav. What could also be out of control could be how the food is available to you. Okay. Or it could be, is there any way you can arrange how the food is available to you at your home? Can you replace some of the non-healthy items, fried items, with healthy items? Those are some of the things which you can see whether they are in circle of influence and circle of control or concern, and that possibly can help you deal with what is in your control. The temptation.
So
And one
uh,
thing about temptation, I would like to share with you. Uh, Can you guess how long the urge lasts? And this is for everybody, for whatever temptation you may be having, whether it is smoking, drinking, eating chocolate, or whatever else. How long does any temptation last?
might be 15 minutes or so.
15 minutes, okay. Gaurav, anybody else?
Yes, 10-15 minutes.
10-15 minutes, okay. Anyone else?
If I'm very hungry, then it lasts for like half an hour or so,
Okay.
maybe longer than that.
It is 90 seconds.
Okay.
So the wave of temptation lasts for 90 seconds. अगर आपने उस समय कुछ नहीं किया, so it will pass. So whatever temptation that you are dealing with, one good way to think is that it will pass. And we talk more about this when we come to the emotional regulation part, Gaurav and everybody else, where we will see that our emotions and urges are like waves. They come, they rise, and they pass. So all we need to do is we don't have to try to control, but step back and let the wave pass. Okay. Shubham, were you wanting to share something? Okay. Now, moving on. Now, this is, I believe, most of you have this book, my book, Beyond Limits, and there is a story about an elephant in that book. So, there is a temple in South India, and one person who visits the temple sees a very magnificent, huge elephant there in the temple, and he is tied to, by rope to a small peg on the ground. तो वो थोड़ा पजल हो जाता है, यार ये इतना बड़ा हाथी है, ये इतनी छोटी सी कील से, इतनी छोटी सी रस्सी से बंधा हुआ है, ये तो आसानी से तोड़ सकता है. तो वो प्रीस्ट के पास जाता है और प्रीस्ट से पूछता है कि भाई ये ऐसा कैसे आपने मैनेज करके रखा है कि ये हाथी कुछ अपनी खूंटे को तोड़ नहीं रहा, भाग नहीं रहा वहां से. कैन एनीबडी गेस व्हाट वाज द priest's answer to the man?
अपनी शक्ति को नहीं समझ रहा वो.
Okay, very nice. Anybody else?
उल्लू के बैल की तरह वहीं घूमता रहता है, माइंड वैसे ट्रेंड कर दिया बचपन से.
कोलू की बैल की तरह वहीं घूम रहा है. ओके.
Ashish ji, see this, what I understand that during childhood, when he was not having that energy, at that time he had experience, and based on the experience, his mind became like that.
Correct.
And now he has grown up, his energy is more, but still he is having, his mind is like that.
Beautiful, beautiful, Ashish. That is exactly what the priest told that man. That this person, this elephant, is not bound by that rope. He is bound by the chains in his mind. And like Ashish mentioned, when the elephant was a baby, he was tied with iron chains very strongly, and however much he tried to break the iron chains, he could not. So he kept trying, and after a point of time, he gave up, and he believed कि मैं यहाँ पे बंध गया हूँ. कहानी के रूप में तो ये सुनना और समझना बहुत आसान है, दूसरे की लाइफ पे है. ऐसी हमारी जिंदगी में कौन से बिलीव्स हैं? अब ये एलिफेंट का बिलीफ है कि मैं ये तोड़ नहीं सकता, इसलिए वो टेस्ट ट्राई करना ही छोड़ दिया उसने. तो हमारी लाइफ में ऐसे कौन से बिलीव्स हैं जो हमको कुछ ट्राई करने से रोक रहे हैं, या हमको ग्रो करने से रोक रहे हैं, या हमको फ्री होने से रोक रहे हैं? ऐसे बहुत सारे बिलीव्स होते हैं हमारी लाइफ में which stop us from growing. So these beliefs are limiting beliefs and empowering beliefs. And like a printout, we see when the results come out, जब रिजल्ट प्रिंटआउट निकल के आता है तो हम देखते हैं इसमें कुछ गलत है, तो हम कंप्यूटर में जाके ठीक करते हैं, राइट? बिकॉज नहीं तो अलग नेक्स्ट प्रिंट आउट भी गलत आएगा. तो वैसा ही कोई अगर आपकी लाइफ में ऐसा एरिया है जहाँ पे आपको रिजल्ट्स ठीक नहीं मिल रहे, तो आप वहाँ जाके देखें कि व्हाट कुड बी द लिमिटिंग बिलीव्स, व्हाट्स द प्रोग्राम that I have got there, and I'll share with you some examples of limiting beliefs which are very common. I am not good enough. ये 90-95% लोगों को ये होता है. मिस वर्ल्ड भी होगी तो उसको लगता है यार मैं उतनी सुंदर नहीं दिखती जितनी पहले साल दिखती थी या अगले को है. आई एम नॉट गुड इनफ. आई डोंट हैव इनफ टाइम. ये सबसे बड़ा रोग है लोगों का. टाइम नहीं है मेरे पास. टाइम तो सबके पास बराबर 24 घंटे ही है, और उसी 24 घंटे में नरेंद्र मोदी भी काम कर रहे हैं, उसी 24 घंटे में एलॉन मस्क भी काम कर रहे हैं. बट कुछ लोग इतना बिजी रहते हैं कि वो ये एक्सक्यूज़ बनाते हैं कि मेरे पास समय नहीं है. आई डोंट हैव इनफ मनी. एंड आई डोंट हैव इनफ मनी इज़ नॉट ए फंक्शन ऑफ हाउ मच मनी यू हैव इन योर बैंक अकाउंट. इट्स ए स्टेट ऑफ माइंड. एक छोटी सी कहानी सुनाता हूँ. बहुत This is a true story. Ken Honda, you can Google Ken Honda. Ken Honda is the author of a very nice book called Happy Money. एंड ये मनी ये बुक लिखने के लिए उन्होंने 12,000 बिलियनियर्स को जापान में सर्वे किया था, रिसर्च किया था, एंड ही इज़ वन ऑफ द टॉप 5 सेलिंग ऑथर्स इन जापान. And he shares the story that, I went, when he was doing a survey, he went, met a millionaire who had just become a millionaire. अभी उसका वो हुआ था. तो पूछते, उसको लगा ये तो बहुत खुश हो गए, मिलियनर बन गया, डॉलर मिलियनर बन गया, बहुत बड़ी बात है. तो वो जाके मिलते हैं कि आप कैसा महसूस कर रहे हैं, आप कैसे. बोले नहीं यार, मैं तो वो दुखी था आदमी, मैं तो खाली $1 मिलियन ही है मेरे पास, मेरे दोस्त को देखो उसके पास तो $10 मिलियन हैं. तो फिर वो $10 मिलियन वाले दोस्त के पास जाते हैं, बोलते हैं ये तो खुश होगा, चलो वो 1 मिलियन वाला नहीं था, ये खुश होगा, इसके पास 10 है. तो ये भी रो रहा होता है, बोल रहे यार कि $10 मिलियन कुछ होता है, वो मेरे दोस्त को देखो उसके पास $30 मिलियन है. फिर वो $30 मिलियन वाले दोस्त के पास जाते हैं, तो $30 मिलियन वाला बोलता है अरे यार क्या ज़िंदगी है, मेरे पास एक छोटा सा जेट है, खाली 2 सीटर जेट है, मेरे दोस्त के पास देखो इतना बड़ा जेट है. So whether you have 1 million, 10 million, 30 million doesn't matter. People feel I don't have enough money. Okay. So this is one mindset which limits us. Or I am too young or too old to advance in my career. What was the age of Ray Kroc, who is the founder of McDonald's, उन्होंने किस उम्र में McDonald's शुरू किया था? Please type in the chat. हमको लगता है हमारी ज़िंदगी ख़त्म हो गई यार, अब हम बुढ़े हो गए. मैकडोनल्ड्स कोई सही गलत की बात नहीं है. आपको क्या लगता है किस उम्र में उन्होंने मैकडोनल्ड्स शुरू किया था? या केएफसी के फाउंडर ने किस उम्र में शुरू किया था केएफसी? पास 60 या पोस्ट 60? ओके, सो केएफसी या 45. ओके, सो केएफसी 65. या So Colonel Sanders, who found KFC, was about 65, 66, and Ray Kroc, McDonald's founder, was about 55, 56. Okay, जब लोगों के करियर ख़त्म हो रहे हैं, okay, उस समय लोग रिटायरमेंट 55, 56, 60 पे लोग रिटायरमेंट क्यों, उस समय इन्होंने ये मल्टी बिलियन डॉलर एंटरप्राइज सेटअप किया. तो ये उम्र, ये मैं बहुत, यार कई लोग सोचते हैं मैं तो बहुत बच्चा हूँ अभी, अरे बच्चे लोग बिलियनर बन रहे हैं अभी. ओके, सो आई एम टू यंग और टू ओल्ड, दीज आर माइंडसेट्स और लिमिटिंग बिलीव्स दैट वी हैव विद अस. आई एम डार्क, थिन, फैट, अगली. अब आपने ओपरा विनफ्रे का नाम सुना हुआ है किसी ने?
Yes,
ओके,
Ashish, I have
ओके,
heard.
या. सो शी इज़ फैट बाई हर ओन एडमिशन. मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, उनको वो अपने इंटरव्यूज में बताती हैं शी इज़ हैड वेट इश्यूज एंड शी इज़ डार्क. एनीबडी हैज आइडिया हाउ मच इज शी वर्थ?
thousands of millions शायद.
Thousands, okay, thousands of millions, okay. Anybody else?
1 billion.
1 बिलियन. शी इज़ वर्थ $3 बिलियन, जो कि करीब 30,000 करोड़ रुपए. ओके, तो हमको लगता है यार मैं बहुत मोटा हूँ, बहुत काला हूँ, बहुत अगली दिखता हूँ, कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता भाई. जिसको करना है ना वो कर दे रहा है. ये खाली हम अपने मन में धारणा बना के बैठे हुए हैं कि मैं इसलिए क्रैक नहीं मार पा रहा लाइफ में क्योंकि ये रीज़न है मेरा. देर इज़ टू. यस ऋषि.
So I think it's a very controversial topic, but the liveliest of the example is Mr. Donald Trump at this point in time. What would be he? I mean, what's his age and what he's doing for the world? I mean,
या
like
या
people can have their own opinions, but what he's doing now in his second, third tenure, I mean, nobody would have actually imagined.
हाँ, तो अब
Being
मेरे
a
को
joker
एक,
at 85 is really something.
सॉरी.
Sorry to interrupt. I was saying being a joker at 85 is also an achievement.
बीइंग, नो मैं उसका बात बताता हूँ आपको. आई टेल यू व्हाई आई एडमायर ट्रम्प. ओके, एक मेरे पास एक बंदा आया था कोचिंग में, उससे एक गलती हो गई थी अपने करियर में. कुछ उसने गलत काम कर दिया था. ओके, कुछ उसने अपने बॉस के सिस्टम से जाके किसी की इंक्रीमेंट की मेल का डेटा अपने आप को फॉरवर्ड कर दिया था. ओके, दैट वाज अ कंप्लायंस इशू. ऑफ कोर्स किसी दूसरे के सिस्टम में जाना, वहाँ से सेंसिटिव इन्फॉर्मेशन, वो पकड़ा गया, उसकी वजह से उसकी नौकरी गई. एंड दैट फैक्टर वॉज प्लेइंग सो मच इन हिज माइंड. उसका नेक्स्ट जॉब में भी बत्ती लग गई. मतलब परफॉर्म ही नहीं कर पा रहा, उसके मन में ये घूमे जा रहा है, मेरे से गलती हो गई. और अच्छा ब्राइट करियर था, मतलब ब्राइट स्टूडेंट था, मेरे से गलती हो गई, मैंने ये कर दिया, मैंने क्या कर दिया, ऐसे कॉन्स्टेंटली प्लेइंग. मैंने बोला भाई उसको, तेरे को मालूम है डोनाल्ड ट्रंप के ऊपर कितने केस चल रहे हैं? एनीबडी हैज एन आइडिया हाउ मेनी केसेस डोनाल्ड ट्रंप हैज गॉट अगेंस्ट हिम? नो राइट और रॉन्ग आंसर. एनी guesses put in the chat.
Some 85,000.
85,000. Okay.
Some
Anybody
somewhere
else?
closer to 85 or 87,000. I mean,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Anybody else? शुभम सर, आपको कोई अंदाज है इसका? डोनाल्ड ट्रंप के अगेंस्ट कितने केसेस चल रहे हैं? सोमेश, मोनिका, आशीष. There are thousands of cases. From what I saw last time, it was about 6,000 cases. Okay. एक आदमी है जिसको एक केस के पीछे, केस भी नहीं है, एक चीज़ जो उसको लगता है मैंने गलत कर दी, उसका इज जस्ट गोइंग ऑन एंड गोइंग ऑन. और ये भाई 6,000 केस चल रहे हैं, कितनी गलतियां की, किस किस तरह के केस चल रहे हैं, इम्पीच हो गया, ये हो गया, वो उसको फर्क नहीं पड़ता भाई, वो कर रहा है जो उसको करना है. ओके, सो these beliefs are what we choose. This is the story we are telling ourselves. कोई बोल रहा है भाई आजकल अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं है, सब कुछ एआई कर रहा है, कोई छाप रहा है, या मेरे पास राइट एजुकेशन नहीं है. मेरे को कई साल तक लगता था यार मैं आईआईटी से नहीं हूँ, आईएम से नहीं हूँ, और ऐसे कितने ही लोग हैं जो आईआईटी से आईएम से नहीं है बट मस्त कर रहे हैं अपना करियर में. आई डोंट हैव द राइट कनेक्शंस और नेटवर्क इन माय इंडस्ट्री टू सक्सीड. ये जैसे फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में होता है निपोटिज्म, नीपो किड्स कितना चल रहा है. तो कोई नया आएगा, जैसे रणबीर सिंह है, या इरफान खान, या और इतने सारे लोग हैं जिनका कोई कनेक्शन नहीं है, वो बोलेंगे यार मैं तो सक्सीड नहीं हो सकता. I don't have the right personality or traits to be successful. I'll not be able to earn enough money. I'm too afraid to take risks and try new things. As you said, उसने धोनी ने रिस्क लिया. I'm stuck in my role and there is no way up. I don't have enough experience to grow. आपका कोई ऐसा लिमिटिंग बिलीफ है जो आपको रोक रहा है? सोचिए. द बिगेस्ट एनिमी इज नॉट आउटसाइड, इट इज द वॉइस इनसाइड दैट सेज यू कांट. और मैंने आपको इतने सारे एग्जाम्पल्स दिए जहां पे लोगों ने बोला यार मेरे को नहीं सुनना, ये जो मेरा मन मच मच कर रहा है नहीं सुनना मेरे को. आई विल गो अहेड एंड डू व्हाट आई वांट टू डू इन माय लाइफ. तो ये चॉइस है आपके पास कि जो बिलीफ आपको लिमिट कर रहा है, जो रोक रहा है, जो आपके पैरों में बेड़ियां मार रहा है. ओके, अब वो हाथी जो बंधा हुआ है वहां पे, उसको क्या बाहर से किसी ने रोका हुआ है, किसी अंदर से रुका हुआ है वो, है ना? इस तरह से हम सबके मन में बेड़ियां हैं जो हमको रोकती हैं वो करने से जो हमको करना चाहिए. एंड हेनरी फोर्ड से समथिंग विच इज सो ब्यूटिफुल. वेदर यू थिंक यू कैन और यू थिंक यू कांट, यू आर राइट. इसमें कोई दो मत नहीं है. अगर आपको ये लगता है मैं ये कर सकता हूं तो आप कर सकते हो. आपको लगता है ये नहीं कर सकता हूं तो सही सोच रहे हो, आप नहीं कर सकते. एक और कहानी सुनाता हूँ मैं आपको, छोटी सी. आई विल नॉट टेक टू मच टाइम अदरवाइज, बट आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू make you believe that all of this is backed by so much of research and so much of examples. 1954 तक लोग ये बिलीव करते थे कि एक माइल विच इज़ अबाउट 4 माइल नहीं, एक माइल 1.6 किलोमीटर्स लोग 4 मिनट से कम में रन नहीं कर सकते. And there was, lot of doctors, lot of medical experts would come and say, boss, if you run a mile in less than 4 minutes, your heart will burst, your lung will burst. आप मतलब कर ही नहीं सकते, ह्यूमन बींग्स की कैपेबिलिटी नहीं है इसको करने की. And then there was in 1954 a gentleman called Roger Bannister. He came and he ran a mile in less than 4 minutes. और उसके एक साल के अंदर 50 लोग और दौड़े, और उसके एक और साल के अंदर 200 लोगों ने वो बैरियर पार किया. तो अगर आप सोचते हो आप दौड़ सकते हो तो आप सही हो, आप सोचते हो आप नहीं दौड़ सकते तो भी आप सही हो. ऐसे बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल्स मैं और बता सकता हूँ आपको. बट लाइक हेनरी फोर्ड सेज, वेदर यू थिंक यू can't or you can, you are right. So let us also focus on some empowering beliefs. I am capable of learning new skills and taking on new challenges to advance my career. I am confident in my ability. जैसा शुभम ने बोला, supreme self-belief. I can handle any job responsibilities that come my way. I am capable. I am dedicated to my career growth and I will take necessary steps to reach my goals. मुझे जो भी करना है, चाहे करियर ग्रोथ हो या हेल्थ गोल हो, I am dedicated to my health goal and मुझे जो करना होगा मैं करूँगा उसके लिए. ये एक empowering belief है. I am open to feedback and learning from constructive criticism. I believe that my hard work and dedication will lead to my success. I am not defined by my current job title or position and I can continue to. कई लोग restrict हो जाते हैं यार कि ये मेरा काम थोड़ी ना है, मैं तो मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनी हूँ या मैं तो CEO हूँ, मैं ये कैसे कर सकता हूँ. I am willing to take calculated risks. I can balance my career goals. I am confident. I believe I have a valuable contribution to make. अब एक ये लास्ट स्टोरी मैं आपसे शेयर करूंगा एंड देन वी आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द क्लोज ऑफ अवर सेशन, एंड दिस ऑल्सो इज़ ए ट्रू स्टोरी. मैं एक बार विपाशना के लिए गया था इगतपुरी और वहाँ से लौट रहा था, एंड देवर 4-5 of us, क्योंकि वहाँ से कार पूल किया था हमने. एंड वन ऑफ द पीपल हु वाज ट्रैवलिंग विद मी वाज ए फार्मर, रियल फार्मर. तो मेरा थोड़ा इंटरेस्ट है तो मैं उससे बात करने लगा कि भाई कैसे फार्मर्स की इनकम कैसे है, कौन फार्मर्स सक्सेसफुल नहीं होते, क्यों फार्मर्स इतने पुअर हैं, और जो इतना पैसा छाप रहे हैं वो क्या कर रहे हैं. एंड इस तरह से हम बातें कर रहे थे तो द कॉन्वर्सेशन वियर्ड टूवर्ड्स हाउ टू ग्रो क्रॉप सक्सेसफुली एंड व्हाट आर द सक्सेसफुल वंस डूइंग. एंड उन्होंने एक बात बोली in terms of good farming practices. उन्होंने बोला जो वीड्स खेतों में हो जाती हैं या क्यारियों में हो जाती हैं, उन वीड्स को निकालना, जो घास, जंगली घास या वीड्स को निकालना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है to get good crop. Anybody has an idea why it is important for us to remove those weeds in farming? Why is it a good practice?
Because it will eat the nutrients of the crop.
Very nice. Thank you, Ashish. Anybody else? सो जैसा आशीष ने बिल्कुल सही कहा, जो आप खाद डाल रहे हो वो जो जंगली घास है, जो वीड्स हैं, वो ले लेंगी. ओके, तो जो द खाद इज, द फर्टिलाइजर इज मेंट फॉर योर क्रॉप, नॉट फॉर द वीड्स. but it gets sucked away. तो ये जो लिमिटिंग बिलीव्स हैं ये आपके वीड की तरह हैं, ये आपकी एनर्जी को सक कर लेंगे. तो हमारा जो काम होता है वो ये होता है कि भाई वो हम लिमिटिंग बिलीव्स को आइडेंटिफाई करें और एक एक लिमिटिंग बिलीफ को एम्पावरिंग बिलीफ से रिप्लेस करें. टेक 4 minutes to look at one area where you're not getting the results you desire. Okay? And if 4 minutes is not sufficient, you can continue this exercise later. But see what is coming up for you in the 4 minutes. Identify the limiting belief. It could be because I'm not able to handle my temptation, or it could be मेरी फैमिली में ही ऐसे हैं सब लोग, या हमारे यहाँ तो ऐसा ही होता है, या भारत में ऐसे ही, इंडिया में सब ऐसे ही है भाई, सबका चलता है एटीट्यूड है. फाइंड एविडेंस टू सपोर्ट इट. ओके, ये जो आपका लिमिटिंग बिलीफ है इसका एविडेंस क्या है. ओके, एंड देन फाइंड एविडेंस अगेंस्ट इट. अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि ये जेनेटिक सिचुएशन है तो क्या आपकी फैमिली में सारे को वो हेल्थ चैलेंज है या खाली आपको है. सो इस तरह से आप बैलेंस कर रहे हो अपने व्यू को. एंड देन रिप्लेस दैट लिमिटिंग बिलीफ विद एन एम्पावरिंग बिलीफ. प्लीज टेक 3 to 4 minutes. This is a very, it looks very simple, but it's a very powerful system to replace limiting beliefs with empowering beliefs. क्योंकि हमारे माइंड को प्रूफ चाहिए होता है. खाली आप बोल दो ना कि बिना प्रूफ के आप बोल दोगे तो मन मानता नहीं है. सो आपको प्रूफ से कन्विंस करना पड़ेगा अपने आप को. और कई बार लिमिटिंग बिलीफ का कोई प्रूफ ही नहीं होता, तो फिर लगता है यार या तो एक ऐसी टेबल है जो बिना पैर की खड़ी हुई है. किसी ने आप सोचने जाओगे आपको याद ही नहीं आएगा यार ये लिमिटिंग बिलीफ आया कहाँ से, कोई सोर्स ही नहीं है इस लिमिटिंग बिलीफ का. तो ऐसा भी हो सकता है. एंड देन यू रिप्लेस इट विद एन एम्पावरिंग बिलीफ. If there is any question that is coming up for you, please ask. Any insights that came up for you? Any challenge you are facing? Have you done it or it's work in progress? Anyone would like to share? If not the specific challenge, at least if you went through the exercise, is some doubt coming up for you or you've got some clarity? I need some responses for you, from you. Yes, no, maybe. Somesh, in process. Okay. You want to take more time, or you want to do it at leisure, because this may require some deep thinking? Ashish, Shubham, Monica, Somesh. Should we move on? Please type MO if you would like me to move on, and you will do this later. Okay, Monica. So, in the interest of the time, I will move on. Anyway, we will share this recording in the group, and you can, I would urge you to do this. It is by way of removing one limiting belief, one weed, and replacing it with an empowering one. We create our destiny. Aham Brahmasmi. एक एक लिमिटिंग बिलीफ को जैसे हम हटाते जाते हैं, हम अपनी डेस्टिनी क्रिएट करते हैं. लिमिटिंग बिलीफ हमको रोक लेता है, और उसको निकालने से हमारी ग्रोथ अपने आप हो जाती है. सो दैट इज द प्रोसेस हाउ वी क्रिएट अवर डेस्टिनी. बहुत सारे लिमिटिंग बिलीव्स हो सकते थे, जैसे मेरे को था, मैं एक विक्टिम हूँ, बेचारा हूँ, नया हूँ उस जॉब में, उस पोजीशन में. धोनी को लिमिटिंग बिलीफ हो सकता था, यार मैं तो विकेट कीपर हूँ, लो रैंकिंग बैट्समैन हूँ, लो ऑर्डर बैट्समैन हूँ. क्रिस गार्डनर को हो सकता था, मैं तो होमलेस हूँ. ओके, ऐसे बहुत सारे लिमिटिंग बिलीफ हो सकते थे. बट वो लिमिटिंग बिलीफ को निकाल के एम्पावरिंग बिलीफ से रिप्लेस करके हम अपनी डेस्टिनी बना सकते हैं. So these are the stories that we created. We shared. I would now like you to take maybe 3-4 minutes, 3 minutes or so, and write down 3 insights that you have got from the session. Please take 3 minutes, not 5 as it is written here. 2 beliefs that you would like to challenge, and 1 action that you will take in the next 24 hours. Take 3 minutes to write down 3 insights. क्या ऐसा नया आपको पता लगा? क्या ऐसा बल्ब ऑन हुआ? Maybe this was something you already knew, बट आज कुछ डिस्कशन ऐसा हुआ, कुछ ऐसी एक नई रियलाइजेशन हुई. जैसे उस दिन मेरे को हुआ था, मेरे बॉस ने जो बोला, बॉस कब तुम रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लोगे? ऐसा नहीं है, पता नहीं था. मैं आई वुड हैव बीन अबाउट 43 एट दैट टाइम. ऐसा नहीं है, पता नहीं है, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं लेती या ले नहीं रहे थे. आई वॉज रनिंग $100 million बिजनेस. इट्स नॉट दैट आई वॉज आई डिडंट नो how to run a business or take responsibility, but कई बार slip हो जाते हैं. So what are the 3 insights that you have got today? Okay, yeah, please write them down, and then we will take the sharing. Gaurav, we'll invite you to share, everybody. 3 insights that you have got, 2 beliefs you want to challenge, and 1 action you will take in next 24 hours. 1 more minute, and then we will invite you to share. Whoever is ready can raise your virtual hand, and we will invite you to share. like to go first, please raise your hand.
It's three insights, two.
Two
What
beliefs
is the
that
two?
you would like to challenge, and one action you will take in next 24 hours. Sumesh, would you like to go first?
No, I'm just thinking. Please
Okay,
give me
okay.
some time.
Take your time. What have you got insights about the champion's mindset? We discussed about MS Dhoni, we discussed about Michael Phelps, we discussed about Chris Gardner, my own story. About my boss's story who was living in Oberoi, supreme belief.
So, we can say the insights, but what may come, the show must go on.
Whatever may come, show must go on. Very nice.
It is a tough mindset,
Tough mindset.
and yeah, कुछ भी हो चलते रहना है.
Hmm.
स्पीड थोड़ी स्लो भी हो जाए कभी टफ सिचुएशन में तो चलेगा, बट यू डोंट हैव टू स्टॉप.
Yeah, very nice. Very powerful. Now, this is controversial, and but Gaurav shared with me this video about Samay Rana, his latest show, Staying Alive. And he
या
talks about a show that he had to do where he was completely gone. मतलब इतना ज़्यादा वो प्रेशर में था, वो संभाल नहीं पा रहा था बिल्कुल अपने आप को, और कैसे उस सिचुएशन में जाके उसने अपना शो डिलीवर किया है. ओके, जब आप बिल्कुल, आपके अंदर हिम्मत नहीं है, आप पूरी तरह से टूटे हुए हो, हाउ कैन यू गो ऑन दी स्टेज और वो मुखौटा लगा के आप 1 डेढ़ घंटे का सैकड़ों हजारों लोगों के सामने शो डिलीवर कर रहे हो. द शो मस्ट गो ऑन irrespective of the internal state that you're feeling. Thank you, Monica. Thank you for bringing that up. Anything else that comes up for you, Monica?
लिमिटिंग बिलीफ, जैसे
Okay.
मुझे खुद के लिए है कि आई एम नॉट गुड इन द डिजिटल मार्केटिंग और द टू हैंडल द टेक्नोलॉजी. आई एम नॉट
Correct.
गुड इन दैट. तो वो मुझे लगता है कि मेरा बैकग्राउंड इज नॉट फ्रॉम दैट और मेरा स्टडी नहीं था. तो वो मुझे काफी बार पुश करता है और मुझे मेंटली काफी स्ट्रगल करना पड़ता है टू वर्क इन दैट एरिया.
Okay.
आई अंडरस्टूड इन लास्ट फ्यू इयर्स स्पेशली आफ्टर कोविड कि मेरा लर्निंग स्पीड बहुत अच्छा है, बट मैंने खुद को ही लिमिटाइज किया हुआ होता है. मेरा मेंटल बैरियर है, दैट्स ऑल.
Correct.
ये
Correct.
नहीं है कि अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं है सीखने की और मैं मेरे में कैपेसिटी नहीं है सीखने की, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. जस्ट माइंड मुझे बैरियर काफी उसमें क्रिएट करके रखता है.
And what is one action you will take in next 24 hours, Monica?
So I have joined one course. So tomorrow I am having first class for that.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that, Monica.
Thank-
Monica, whom would you like to invite next?
Mr. Sumesh.
Okay.
Yeah, the biggest insight from today's session is that circumstances can change only and only if you want to. Everything is in your hands, right? So instead of blaming others, instead of crying over things which is not in your control, you should focus on things you can control and get out of the mess in which you are in. So everything depends on you. Be positive and don't, underestimate yourself and
Very
just
nice.
keep going on. As Michael Phelps, despite malfunctioning of his goggles, he kept swimming.
Yeah, yeah,
That is the biggest insight which I have. You should go on. We always say the show must go on.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that is the biggest insight which I got today. Limiting beliefs is that, of course, there is one limiting belief which I always feel that I could have done better, but I have not done better, but I'm not doing well, or I didn't do well in my life. But the positive side, or other side of that is that I can still do. Okay, the past is gone now. I should move on from that. I should take the advantage of this present situation, whatever God is offering me or whatever God has offered me so far. I should say thank you to Him and just take this as a blessing from Him that still I'm breathing. I have like, if I'm breathing, then I can definitely get out of all the mess I'm in. So, yes, this is my belief. This is my limiting belief that I can't do anything right now. Everything is lost, everything is gone. But that is not the case.
Yeah, yeah.
That is not the case.
Very powerful.
So, if I wake up tomorrow, if I'm still breathing, then there are chances that circumstances will change.
Very
And
nice.
one action which I would like to take is that uh, I would like to gain more insight on what I'm doing. That is the action because until and unless you become, I won't say perfect, but until unless you become a master of your job or whatever you are doing, you cannot succeed. So I should keep enhancing my knowledge through various readings, or watching, motivational videos and attending trainings like yours, which helps me open my eyes and gives me some hope that everything is still not lost.
Yeah,
As I said earlier, if I am breathing, then definitely chances are that things will change.
yeah.
So these are the three things
Thank you.
which I
Thank
learned
you,
from this
Shamil.
lesson, from this
And
training session.
yeah, so like Ray Kroc, he was a struggling salesman, right? And then he just kept on doing. Beautiful, Shamil. Who would you like to invite next?
I would like to invite, just a minute, let me see the names. I would like to invite Ashish.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's your name. Sorry, I'm
No,
so sorry.
Ashish is there. Yeah.
Uh,
Ashish.
okay, okay, okay. Ashish is there, right? Ashish Kumar is also there, which is
Yeah,
you.
Ashish
Sorry.
Goel. That's Ashish Goel.
Yes, Ashish Goel. Okay, fine.
Ashish, are you there? Maybe he's not there, Sumesh.
Oh, okay. Can I invite Shubham?
Sorry?
Shubham.
Shubham. Okay. Huh.
Yes, sir, I'm here. The three insights I would like to take from today's session. The first thing that to take responsibility. Second thing is to lead with confidence, and the third one to have empowering beliefs. As you mentioned that to have supreme self belief, I feel that it's not about being perfect, but it's about trusting that you can grow, learn, and overcome. There will be the moments of doubt, but those moments don't define you. But your response does. Have that self belief. And I would like to challenge the two limiting beliefs of me. That are first one is to I always say that I don't have time, and I feel that I afraid to take the risk. So I would like to challenge that, and I would like to take action on this. The first thing I will do that I will complete the exercise you gave in the session, and I will replace my all the limiting beliefs to the empowering beliefs.
Okay.
That's the tip from today's session.
शुभम, आपकी आवाज़ थोड़ी क्रैक हो रही थी। आप मुझे ये बता सकते हैं कि आपने जो तीन आपके टेक अवेज हैं, कौन सी स्टोरी से आपने इंस्पायर होके बोली है? इफ़ यू कैन शेयर विद अस।
एक्चुअली तीनों स्टोरी जो भी स्टोरीज आज के सेशन में थी, सभी स्टोरीज में कुछ ना कुछ तो था ही सर. But mostly Dhoni story first, then your story, and then the movie of Pursuit of Happiness. That one, sir.
ओके, थैंक यू शुभम। Whom would you like to invite next, Shubham?
I would like to invite Gaurav.
Okay.
Hey, thanks, Shubham. Uh, so for me, three key takeaways would have been the three circles: circle of control, influence, and concern. Next one would be the 90 seconds of craving. Though that was, I mean, it came up abruptly. It did not come up as a part of the um, course. And then the third and foremost is limiting beliefs can be changed. So understanding that it can be changed itself is a very empowering emotion for me. Mm,
Wonderful.
and when it comes to belief, uh, yeah, weight के मामले में, I mean, I have been very uh, negative about setting goals itself in general. So last year I did set up a goal, and financially or business wise, I had certain targets and we were able to achieve it. Uh, Likewise, I would be working on weight, and then also financial goals for this year. And I would like to, mm, you know, mm, weight आसानी से कम नहीं होता है, हेरिडेटरी है, मेरे क्रेविंग्स कंट्रोल नहीं होते, ये सब चीजों पे काम करना है. एंड व्हेन इट कम्स टू फाइनेंशियल गोल्स, मेरा ही खुद का बिलीफ था जो ये साल मैंने ब्रेक किया है, एंड आई वांट टू ब्रेक इट अगेन दिस ईयर, कि फाइनेंशियल गोल्स अचीव नहीं कर सकते हैं.
Very nice.
One action item would be, okay, might not be relevant to the subject today, mm, but or I can relate it slightly, कि वक्त नहीं मिल रहा है यार, कॉल्स पेंडिंग है, आशीष सर ने एक लीड दिया है, उधर और किसी ने लीड दिया है, बट आई हैव नॉट बीन एबल टू कॉल इट बिकॉज काम बहुत है. तो ये 24 घंटे में खत्म करने हैं अगले. एटलीस्ट अ फर्स्ट कॉल वुड बी गॉन बाय टुमारो इवनिंग.
Very
ये तो
nice.
करना ही है, मतलब नॉट जस्ट यूर, बट देयर आर अदर 3-4 references that have been passed and I have not been able to tap them.
Correct. Very powerful. Very powerful, Gaurav. Thank you for sharing that. It takes a great deal of courage to share, and really appreciate that. And 95% of the people, I think somebody also mentioned this in the session today, believe that we are at the mercy of the circumstances. We let the circumstances rule our life. But I would like to finish our session today with this very powerful share. खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर लिखने से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे, बता तेरी रज़ा क्या है. So friends, those of us who are here in this session are champions, and champions are those who take charge, who take responsibility, who take ownership, who are resilient, who get up, who are focused on what they can do, and in that way they keep creating their lives and their destinies. Thank you very much for joining me today. Our next session will be on 23rd of April, same time. Uh, we will be sharing some assignments with you on the group, so stay active. आज कुछ लोगों का पूरी एक्सरसाइजेज नहीं हुई थी, ये रिकॉर्डिंग हम कल शेयर करेंगे ग्रुप में. कंटिन्यू विद द एक्सरसाइजेस, कीप रिमूविंग द वीड्स, एक एक निकालते जाइए, उनको रिप्लेस करते जाइए विद एम्पावरिंग सीड्स एंड क्रिएट योर ओन डेस्टिनी. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, Ashish, for such a wonderful session.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Ashish.
Thank
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Shubham.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.